some nights thinking, my mind is going. What are we going to, especially all the hands up, don't shoot, Eric Gardner, this child, this baby, this person's son. My mind is going. I don't have children personally. I have your children. I have our children. I have a nephew I'm helping to raise that's 6 years old. Brilliant. I want him to be able to make it. He could be the next Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We don't know this. We need to protect our families. This is what we are here for. If you have ideas and you just need somebody or some place to share your ideas, we are here. Because guess what? When you share those ideas, things come about, right or wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we're here for. That is my message, just to tell you what we are here for. If you need something, let us know. Because guess what? One of us can do the research to find out. Put it together. I might hit this sister. She might know somebody that know you, that know you. Oh, you know what? Send them on in. This job interview, job information. I work with plenty of staffing agencies. I used to do human resources. I have so many contacts. And I don't mean temporary agencies. I mean staffing agencies. These are things that we're trying to get you information on. So we want you here for the community reasons, but we want to be able to help you too. And we want to know what you got to give. What you got to give. It's so many different ways of helping each other. So basically, I'm going to pass it on to Minister Justice. Any questions or concerns? Most of you have my phone number, correct or incorrect? If you don't, I will give it to you. That's not an issue. Call me with your question, your concern. Do you know? If I don't know, I'll find a way. I'll find somebody who do. I want to thank all of you for coming out. As our minister speaks, seems like most people are coming in. Shortly we'll be passing our application. I'm just trying to get everybody together. But thank you so much for coming out. Thank you. Black power, my people.
Black power. Black power.
Black power. Black power.
That's so weak. Yeah, look. Y'all ever heard, you go somewhere, especially when we used to go to parties. I don't know how old y'all are, but I used to go to house parties. And it was hot in there. And you know what they used to say? They used to say black folks draw what?
Heat.
And heat is what?
Energy.
There you go. So I know y'all got the energy. When I say black power, put that energy in the air. Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
Black power.
The problem with us is that we don't recognize our power. We really don't recognize our power. When we saw Chairman Arias doing the libation for the ancestors, that's one of the things they took from us. One of the things that we don't recognize, we wonder why we are on the bottom of the totem pole. We wonder why our kids get killed. Because you know what? All the things they tell you to stay away from, the boogeyman and voodoo and all of that, that's the stuff they do. If you notice, I'm going to give you a small indication. You see the swastika that Hitler used to use? Do you know that that's your symbol for your high God that came straight out of Egypt? So these individuals are actually using everything they tell you not to use. They tell y'all, oh, they doing voodoo, but you go in a Catholic church and you see them lighting candles and praying to saints. You know where they got that from? Us. That's when we paid homage to our ancestors. We lit incense. We lit candles. We did those things. These individuals came and saw how civilized we were and how we paid homage to our ancestors and our people, and they took it, incorporated it into their thing, and then they tell us, stay away from that. Oh, that's devil worship. This, that. But I'm here to let you know that if you don't honor your ancestors, you are doomed to fail. You need to recognize your ancestors because we are all energy. This soul coat holds up the energy that is known as Dr. Justice. We are all energy. So energy, what does anybody know anything about energy? Energy does not disappear. What happens to energy? The only thing it does is change. It changes form. It doesn't go anywhere. So when people say, oh, such and such is gone, such and such is still around. And those are your ancestors. If you notice, you see the young guys, you see it in the movies and everything, they say, this is for such and such. This is for the homies that ain't here. They doing a libation. They doing a libation. They might not know much about it, but it's in your DNA to be able to pay homage to your ancestors.
Yes, ma'am.
So, when you say this is for the homies that are not here, and you pour alcohol on the ground, guess what you do? You wake up all the angry ancestors. When you use water, you wake them up calm and you look for their protection. Use water, use oil. Protection and calm. You use alcohol, don't wonder Newark is on fire. Everybody's spilling alcohol on the ground talking about this for the homies that ain't here. And they said, what? What? Who did it? You You know, next thing you know, there's some mess going on the corner. There's some speeding cars, and there's some kids getting killed. There's people killing each other because the ancestors, they woke up is angry. Ain't nobody putting them back to sleep either. Ain't nobody going around pouring some water except for us. Pouring water to the ground. It's okay. So my point is, it might look like superstition, but we are some very, very powerful people. Why do you think that they spend all their time and resources in the United States making sure that you never have anything? There's a reason why they do that. Because you're powerful. And they know that once you get up there, because it's going to happen. But and look at how they're killing our men and incarcerating them. They're doing it because they know that once you recognize that you are God, once you recognize that these women are goddesses, and these women recognize that they're goddesses, do you want to know what's going to happen? I know what happens when I tell a guy, I'm a goddess. It changes his whole persona. He don't even know how to respond to that. Because he's used to women being what? B's and H's, right? That's what they're used to. And we the only race of people who call our women B's and H's. And the women, we ain't gonna put y'all to the side because y'all call our men MFers. Because I know I done did it. I wear collar and I done did it. So what I'm here to tell y'all is that the New Black Panther Party is here because we are the vanguards of the community. How many individuals know anything about the New Black Panther Party? Seriously? Okay, we've been here. We've been in this location for over 13 years. It just so happens with every formation, everything is, done a little different. With any organization and a lot of black people, you know that some people want to be important. And if they can't be important, what y'all call it hating, the real word for it is jealousy. And if they can't be important, they want to destroy it. So the New Black Panther Party has been around since the Black Panther Party period, since the 60s. There's always another formation. As long as there's oppression, there's always going to be Panthers. And what part of our 10-point program is we want housing for our people, we want jobs for our people, we want an end to police brutality for our people, we want to make sure that our children get decent education. We demand these things. We demand these things, and in demanding these things, we put out work. The work we put out with Sister Ruby, what she has done, she is our community liaison, handpicked by the chairman areas. What she does is make sure she digs around and she finds affordable housing. There were some people who I gave preliminary affordable housing applications to. Tell me why they went right downtown to the white man and turned in their applications. First of all, I don't even know why they still got an office downtown for Section 8, because they say ain't no Section 8. So if it ain't no Section 8, why are you still working? And another thing I'd like to know is, how come there ain't never no money for our neighborhoods? When they tell you don't pay no taxes, that's a lie. Every time you go in the store and buy some bubble gum, every time you go in the store and you buy something, every time you pay your rent, you paying taxes. So how come when it's your time to get something from them taxes, suddenly there ain't no money? There's no more money for child care. There's no more money for housing. There's no more money. Why is that? In a little while, we're going to put something together to figure out where our tax money is going. Because you're paying taxes whether you do that formal IRS crook thing or not. You're paying taxes. Only difference is you're not getting your money back. You know, when you go through the toll, you're able to get a receipt. And you get a receipt for tax purposes. Because you paying a toll, that means that you're able to file that at the end of the year and get your money back. Can you imagine if you saved receipts from your clothes, your food, your doctor's appointments, your bus rides? Can you imagine if you do all of that? Guess what? You're going to get some money back. So I said all these things to say that we started off talking about decarceration as it applies to, I know everybody wants affordable housing, and I couldn't even get y'all out here if I said, we're going to have a meeting about mass incarceration. We're going to make them stop this. You know how many people would be here? The Panthers. Because we don't seem to care about our own neighborhoods, and that's a problem. That is a big problem. Why does the lady down the street need a babysitter, and 2 doors down from her, she needs a babysitter, but they don't get together to babysit each other's children. Why is that? It shouldn't even be that way. We run the after-school program. It's a nutrition and feeding program where we teach our children Comedics, which is African sciences, and we teach them Swahili. The reason why we feed them a free, nutritious dinner. We do these things because guess what? When President Obama is gone, what little he has done, when he's gone, you know what's going to happen? These white folks are going to get in there and they're going to take all of the programs that was already out there, they're going to take them all back. And so when you have an after-school program that is not funded by the government, when they take back the after-school program, who is they affecting? They're not affecting nobody if it's your program. We have an after-school program where they get free food, free dinner. And I'm not talking about no pork, and I'm not talking about no beef. They have a lot of chicken, rice, anything that you can think of that is good for a child to eat and promotes good nutrition. That is what these children have when they come here. The first time somebody says black power, they get their kids, they be like, oh, we gotta get out of here. Why is that? Why is that? I had a girlfriend of mine tell me, what you trying to get all black folks put in jail? Because you're a Panther. The fact of the matter is, we're supposed to all support one another. And I know that everybody is here for an application. Tell me that you, if I said that we was here to discuss having babysitters for the children, how many of y'all would be here?
Good to know. That's good to know.
That's good to know. If we said that we are getting together because we're putting together patrols for our neighborhoods, having our neighborhoods patrolled, how many people would be here?
Come with it. Come on.
Okay, so I'm going to, everybody that raised their hand for certain things, I'm going to make sure that I get you writing down. Don't decide to talk about I'm busy. Because the reason, let me tell you something. Being busy is the reason why the neighborhood looks the way it does. Being busy will have an after-school program or an after-school program where everybody is supposed to go to the school and see the teachers sitting up there by themselves. I had a drill team and I had 30 children. When we had awards night, only one parent came, and guess what? It wasn't a parent, it was the sister of one of the kids. That's incredible. We have abandoned our children. We have abandoned our children because I worked 2 full-time jobs when I raised my children, but guess what I did? I used to leave that job and come and be a part of my children's life. I used to go to school. They got tired of seeing me coming. Because you're not going to do what you want to do and think that I'm an absentee parent. That's not happening. That is not happening. We need to take a bigger, broader interest in our children and in our men, because those are the ones they're killing and incarcerating. And the first thing we want to tell them is, get out my face. Just get out my face. You ain't got no money. I don't even want to talk to you. That's the first thing we say. We don't want to talk to him because he ain't got no money. But guess what? When it comes to a meeting that has to do with the community and they doing construction down the block and he can't get a job there, we don't say nothing.
Come on.
But the first thing, and every man wants a woman, and every woman wants a man, but we want somebody with a whole lot of money. He got to have a whole lot of money, he got to have a car, we got all these prerequisites, and that guy with all that money and the car, and what, guess what, he got 2, 3 women. 2, 3 just like you, because he knows that you're going to tell the guy that ain't got no money, I ain't talking to you, ain't got nothing. He knows that. Exactly. So what I'm saying to you guys is that we are here not only for affordable housing, but we're here to uplift our men. And the men are here to uplift the women. We are here to let y'all say we ain't doing mass incarceration no more. Everything is a crime. There are 3 kinds of violence. There is psychological violence, there is physical violence, and the third one is structural violence. And that's the one they never talk to you about because that's what they use on you. Structural violence, which means no matter which way you move, whatever it is you do, you breaking the law. So they got a reason to put you in jail. And it's affecting our men. And we have to support our men. This is something that we need to be doing about mass incarceration. Do you realize that if you've been incarcerated and you worked all your life, you get locked up for some tickets, let's say. You can't afford your bail because you got a menial job. And then when it's time for you to come out, now you ain't got no job. They tell you can't get your unemployment because you voluntarily left your job when you got locked up. They tell you that you not anything that you had, you don't have anymore because you got arrested. So this thing, where do you think that the monies go from individuals who's supposed to get unemployment? You done been paid into unemployment for years, but as soon as you get locked up for tickets, they tell you can't have your unemployment. That you voluntarily left your job. Where do you think that unemployment goes to? It goes to Caucasians. Because those are the ones that are not being locked up. Those are the ones that just, I don't feel like working no more. I know plenty of white folks, grand check me in the head. Anything. And they get, what I'm saying is they suck us dry. They suck our community dry.
Yes, ma'am.
We're having a father-daughter dance. I need the men in the house to raise their hand. The men in the house, raise your hand, raise them high, raise them high. Okay? What we're going to be doing, we have brand new coats for girls. And I need for you guys to sign your name on something because we having a father-daughter ball where you're going to be able to give your daughter a brand new coat. And that is even up to teenage daughters. Okay, so I need for you guys to make sure that that the queen gets your name. How many of y'all got daughters? Okay, how many of y'all taking care of people that taking care of somebody's daughter? And you gonna be a daddy too? Who gonna be a daddy for that day? Okay, so if you want to be a daddy for a day, I need you to write your name on there. But I also need the men, most especially, because we have a whole lot in store for the men of our community. Not only just affordable housing, because we're going to get together and we're going to fight this mass incarceration. Am I right? Am I right? Yes. Are we going to fight mass incarceration? Yes. Am I right? Yes. Am I right? Yes. Because we are not putting another person in office that's not fighting mass incarceration. We're not doing that. Did you know Cory Book is fighting mass incarceration? He's fighting, and when he was in Newark, he did absolutely nothing. Now he's on the Senate level, and he's a junior senator at that. And he wants to get on board by, doing something for mass incarceration. I've been incarcerated before. Okay? I have a doctorate degree. They don't care who you are. They will lock you up. They will lock you up because you're getting too close to something that they doing wrong. And they will lock you up if you're trying to feed your family. They will lock you up. These people are not playing. And guess who's the biggest group that's growing? Women. They've incarcerated more women now than ever. And what do you think happens to the family? What do you think happens to those children? Diapers. But does anybody know anything about the UN Resolution on Human Rights? Well, let me tell you something. There's something called UN Resolution of Human Rights. The United States has signed on to it, which means that genocide is outlawed. And as a part of genocide, people give your children to another group of people, which is indigenous Africans or Africans from the motherland and from Haiti and places like that. That's who they're giving your children to. Because the way the court system works, if you've ever been incarcerated before, you can't have a foster child. Matter of fact, they don't even want you raising your own child. But a part of genocide that is recognized is taking an individual's children, a nationality or ethnic group, taking their children and giving their children to another nationality or ethnic group. Those are the things that slip right by us. Those are the things that we don't know. You look around, they had a young lady, they took her baby and gave it to a Haitian woman. You know why they took the baby? Because they didn't like her attitude. Those are the things that these individuals are doing. And we need to be well versed and we need to be able to get together and fight these things. Yeah, sure, everybody wants affordable housing. We don't move unless somebody say we gonna get something. It shouldn't be that way. Because like we do, hold your fists up. Hold your fists up. Everybody hold your fists up. Hold your fists up. Take that one finger and stick it into that fist. Try to push it in there. Can't get it in there, can you? No? Now open it up. Now put the finger in there. My point is this. If you don't give anything, you get nothing. That's right. That's the point. But when you open yourself up and you are able to give, That's a part of metaphysics. That's the way the world works. Y'all don't know nothing about metaphysics. You got to give in order to get. What they say, reciprocity. That's how it works. So we can't walk around here not giving nothing. My daughter is good for that. Well, I mean, are you shaking any babies, or you go into a soup kitchen? You're always crying about you ain't got no money. You're always begging and you want something from me, but has you shake a baby yet? Did you go to the soup kitchen? What do you give to your community? Nothing. And you know what she said? Oh, I just wanted a few dollars. She didn't hear nothing I said. And guess what? She continued to suffer because I will not give you anything from me. So with that, we want you guys to be able to fill out your applications. I want the men most especially. I'm going to send around another sheet for just the men. And I need you to get in touch with your boys and whatnot, because we're going to be giving away some Jordans too. So I need y'all to get in touch with your boys so that they can make sure that they are able to be here for their daughters, so they can give their daughter, dance with your daughter, date your daughter. My father used to date us. I have 3 sisters. My father used to take us out, dress us up, and take us out and say, if a man can't treat you like this, you don't need him. So guess where my standards are at? I got a real one. Now, look, now, I done had some men that ain't had no money. I'll deal with that for a minute. But then when you start, oh, sis, you got to come. No, I'm not giving you anything. No. So like I said, these men got to learn how to date their daughters, because if you don't, you end up with a perpetually broke individual that wants to beat your daughter to death. Jealous of her. Especially if she cute. He just want to get with her because she thinks she cute so he can beat up on her and tear her down. It's some dude, I know some guys that say things like, only thing I wanted to do was she thought she was cute. That's why I wanted to talk to her, because she thought she was cute. And it's just just victimizing people, just victimizing these women. And you got women that victimize men too. But at this point, we're going to really just keep it, focused on the men, because, look, it ain't that man. I'm proud of y'all. Give these men a hand. They're here. Give them a hand. Because they are here. The men have come out. It ain't easy for no man. It ain't easy for no black man to come into a place with a bunch of black women getting some affordable housing. It ain't easy for them. It ain't easy, but the target was people who were incarcerated. That was the target initially. But my point is, we're here now. We're here today. Stand up and hug somebody and say, I don't know you, but I love you. Give somebody a hug and tell them, I don't know you, but I love you. Give somebody a hug and tell them, I don't know you, but I love you. I don't know you, but I love you.
I don't know you, but I love you, Queen.
I don't know you, but I love you.
I love you too, man.
I ain't see nobody back there hugging. Come on now. Give somebody some love. Stand up. Stand up. Give somebody some love. Did you hug anybody? You need a hug? Come on.
Come on, brother.
You need a hug too? There you go. Yes, yes. Give somebody a hug and say, I don't know you, but I love you, because guess what? That's the only way we're going to survive. Because black people hate black people.
Yes, man.
We hate. Oh, God, I can't stand him. Oh, she just get on my nerves. But did you ever try to help that individual? You got some people you really can't help. They destined for destruction. I don't care what you do, but at least put your foot out there. At least put your hand out there, because what they say, pay it forward. So y'all can get these applications tonight, and what I'd like for y'all to do is pay it forward. Okay? Because if all of us in this room pay it forward, guess how much better our community will be. Give yourselves a hand. I got 2 hugs right back here, but I can do over to our brother Knowledge and see what he has to say. He is our chief of staff, and he's the one that makes sure that everybody else and everything else stay in check. He's going to be brief. I think we're going to pass out the application so that you can fill them out, because we have a meeting after this, so we're not going to hold y'all long. You know, I'm one of them ministers like to hit it and quit it. Just real quick, my minister, my My minister had me out in the cold in New York talking about praying for de Blasio. My feet was like icicles, and he had like 20 other preachers. It turned into a sermon. I said, I got to go. It's cold. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? So with that, give Brother Knowledge a hand.
One thing I want to touch on, my name is Brother Knowledge, like everybody with the staff. Thank all y'all for coming out tonight. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And I just want to say something as far as the money situation. I was looking up some things, and they had got like $16 million off of like if you want a red light, how they send you a ticket, if you pay on it, they got $16 million from that last year. They supposed to be cutting the program like. So that's what I'm gonna tell you. They do have money for us. It's in here somewhere. You just gotta dig, find it. And another thing is, we all part of the same struggle. You may think because you got a 50 engine, you got a nice little car, your kid's good. But at the end of the day, we all living here like in just two environments. I mean, very different environment. I walk out my house, I can get killed. You walk out your house, you can get killed. Nobody is exempt from getting killed at the end of the day, like. And we all need to fight together like power.
Like power.